when the jury found Veltman guilty. Can you give us a little bit more, like explain the verdict?
Absolutely. So this is a rare case where the federal government approved the application of a terrorism charge to the murder charges. You can join them together. So there's two possible pathways to get a first-degree murder conviction. The first is the conventional way, where the jury is satisfied that the accused deliberated internally, they thought about it, they planned it out, and they caused the death of another person on purpose. However, if you have a terror charge applied, you don't necessarily have to show that specific level of intention. What you have to show is that you engaged in some form of violence that caused the death that was for a political or ideological purpose, and it was intended to intimidate an identifiable group, so in this case, Muslims across Canada. And if you cause a death in those circumstances, it's automatically first-degree murder. We don't know which pathway the jury ultimately went down.
What to you is the significance of this trial nationally?
Well, we put together our terrorism legislation in the wake of 9/11 some 23 years ago almost now, 22 years ago. And up until now, we've only successfully prosecuted people who were alleged to be affiliated with Muslim Islamic supremacist terror organizations. So this is a case where we actually have Muslim victims of a white supremacist terror type of action. So it's very important to recognize, and the Canadian government is doing a better job, that terrorism has many seats. It comes from the far right, the extreme left, from religious ideology of many types, and there are many types of victims, including Muslim people. So it's important that we start applying this charge fairly and evenly.
What did Veltman's defense lawyers say in reaction to the verdict?
Well, he was, to be honest, surprisingly businesslike about it and candid in that he said, look, defense lawyers, this is our job. We have to provide the most capable defense we can of our clients. We're not emotionally invested. And he said, what we're worried about is if we have an application of a terror label, which the judge will make clear when we come back for sentencing some weeks from now, that this will have knock-on effect. It won't change the sentence per se. Either way you look at it, it's a lifetime sentence with no eligibility for parole for 25 years. The difference might be that when he comes up for parole in 25 years, he may be very much more unlikely to get it if he has a terrorism conviction. Could affect all manner of knock-on things with rehabilitation down the line.
How would you describe the reaction of the victim's family and then obviously the wider community?
Well, over the last 2 years, as intended on the part of Veltman, people were very scared, and it had that effect of making people fearful in public space. They have said, people speaking for the family, people speaking for the community have said that, and this is their words, this decision, this verdict, gives them some solace in the sense that they are seeing that the Canadian justice system and government are taking seriously terrorism wherever it may come from, where Muslims themselves can certainly also be victims.
Well, what do you think the overall impact of this will be legally moving forward? Like, does it set precedent in any other ways? I know you were talking in one of the ways, but if you could elaborate just as we look at this through that lens.
Well, extremely important precedent, because now we're going to be clearer. For example, when we say terrorism means political